the growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Cranking loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts, and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried racing breed. Southern Fried racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried racing breed.
All right, live on the air with the SFP Racing Hour during a storm. Once again with Sir Chaser.
Yes.
And our special guest, Miles. Say your last name so I don't butcher it.
Miles Heeger, like Bob Seger.
I got it. I love it.
Yes.
Because you get in those little emphases, you know, and somebody will say, that's not the way you say it. We tend to draw our language out in the South.
Yeah.
So just making sure. But I like how you did that. The word association is good for me.
Oh, yes.
So that I can keep track. Well, thanks for being on the show. And I don't know if you've ever heard of us, or Sir Chaser just chased you down for an interview.
Yes.
So we appreciate you coming on with us. We are about 2 years old not quite 2 years as a show, but a little over 2 years as a podcast. And so we're going out on several things. We appreciate those that are already in here. Get your questions in if you have some for our guest or just racing in general. And but we're going to focus on our guest. So tell us all, first of all, where you're at in the country. I think you mentioned it earlier, but tell us for our listeners where you're coming from. General area, not street address.
Yeah,
and
where you south of Boston, up in Massachusetts, and going to be hitting New Hampshire this weekend for the New Hampshire race for the Craftsman Truck Series in the Cup, as well as the Wheel and Modifieds. But I'm south of Boston, about 40 minutes south of the city.
Okay, cool. I used to have some friends in one of the suburbs up there, but you know, there's a lot of suburbs, but you say suburb for Boston, that's still a heck of a lot of people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they called it now, but so what is your role right now with racing? What do you do?
So I was one of the track announcers at Seekonk Speedway, which is our local short track here. 2023 part-time, 2024, 2025, and a little bit of more fill-in this year. But I am the host of Miles on Motorsports, which is a local racing radio show up here in the Northeast on 95.9 WATD, which is in Marshfield, Massachusetts. And so just love the sport of racing. I'm a fan just as much as I am doing all the work and reporting and interviewing and all of that type of stuff as well. And so basically just a big race fan that's taken the hobby and the passion and put it into something that I can help educate and, you know, teach the everyday average race fan what's going on at the tracks wherever we might be, whether it be this year I've done Talladega, I've done Pocono, I did the Truck Series race at Lime Rock, and this coming weekend we're going to head back up to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which is our home track, and do some reporting and be boots on the ground at the racetrack all weekend and covering it on the Miles on Motorsports Facebook page, so folks can see what the race weekend at New Hampshire is like. And for the folks who are at the track, they have that ability to see what is going on throughout the weekend, all over the track, whether it be in the garage, in the pits, or in the fan zone, or in the campgrounds partying. We try to do the best to make sure that the fans have everything covered and are able to, participate and be involved in all the different events that go on at the racetrack.
I love it. When does your show come on? And we'll give you a follow on the Facebook.
Yep. Miles on Motorsports. Like I said, it's on Facebook, but we are on every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time for an hour. And actually, so tonight's Monday. I'm getting my bearings about me for race week. I just came back. I was in Loudon for the weekend to be there for camper check-in and hang out and, party it up for a night. But we're on this Wednesday night, and we actually have the executive vice president and general manager of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Dave McGrath, going to be joining us to preview race weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I'll be hitting the road, shortly after the radio show Wednesday night to get up there. So I should be on the ground at Loudon again on Wednesday night.
Awesome. You mentioned you had hit some other tracks like Talladega. I've got to ask, because you've mentioned Party twice. What is there any difference between Party at Talladega and Party at New Hampshire?
Yes and no. So Talladega, you've got Talladega Boulevard, which if anybody has never been to Talladega, you got to camp in the infield. You got to hit the boulevard. Talladega is why it's like comparing a Maserati to, a Ferrari. I mean, New Hampshire is my home track, and New Hampshire has quite a party in X-Lot, which is the equivalent of Talladega Boulevard for New Hampshire. And, the New Englanders and the race fans up here in the Northeast, we know we're going to X-Lot during race weekend, because that's where the party's at. A lot of great different groups are in X-Lot, and kind of right on the main road there in X-Lot. Got to give a quick shout out to the Black Flag podcast boys. They're there this year. Red 38. They've got a cool bar set up. But then you make your way all the way down to the back of X-Lot, and it's been the last couple of years. It's really come back, and it's revitalized, and there's a lot of good parties in X-Lot.
Does that track typically sell out or come close to it when they race there?
It does, and I'll tell you, last year was fantastic. The campgrounds were sold out. The grandstands were sold out on Sunday. Since they went back to one race back, I believe, after 2017, the New England race fans up here are diehards, and the modified race is really what steals the show on Saturday. So you get a lot of those modified fans and those diehard local race fans up there on Saturday, and then a lot of them stay for Sunday. A lot of them camp all weekend. But the crowds have been excellent. And I'll tell you, being up there this Saturday, there were a lot more campers the weekend before than there has been in years past. It's a true testament to the racing fans up here in the Northeast that our one race weekend a year in New England, they show up and they make a week out of it. They make a vacation out of it with their families. Saw a lot of kids riding around on bicycles up there this past weekend. And I'm really, really looking forward to our home race, our race weekend coming up this weekend in New Hampshire.
Awesome. I want to get to your story, but there's so many things jumping at me a little bit. And because talking to someone else who's, and we don't, go to the track. We've been to dirt tracks and did some reporting, and we'll be doing more of that. Hello, Jake. I see you there from the great state of Mississippi. But I just want to get your feeling of it as someone who covers it. When we started this over a year ago, we know that NASCAR had went through some struggle, and we thought that year before, early on, it just seemed like it was, I don't know, it didn't feel the energy to it. There was a lawsuit hanging over their head. There was a lot of stuff going on, but the year ended up on it was a strong year. And I feel like this year has been really great.
Oh, it has.
What is your sense? I'm not actually being an expert on it, but what's your sense of where's NASCAR's at right now? The trucks, the O'Reilly, the Cup, and where are they at right now? I'm not saying Dale Earnhardt years. I'm just saying right now, how healthy is the sport? Because I think they've gotten better.
They have.
I think it's very healthy, and I'm going to take you back to 2020 when COVID shut everything down, shut this world down, and NASCAR was the first sport back out there on TV, middle of the week, back-to-back races, double headers. To me, like you say, it's never going to be the days of Dale Earnhardt and the late 80s, early 90s, even early 2000s, and of course we lost Dale in 01. But I'll tell you right now, I really think that the sport is healthy. We're going in the right direction still. Things pop up here and there, but I'll tell you, I just, as a race fan, as somebody who follows the sport, I think that NASCAR, again, from the Truck Series to the O'Reilly Series, the Cup Series, the state of the sport is pretty strong right now. And I think there's a lot of new fans that have come to the sport, especially since 2020. I can't tell you how many folks I meet at different racetracks who, they say, hey, I met, I learned about NASCAR, when we were all locked up during COVID, and, some states, the restrictions were easier than other states. And then you've got some states that people weren't leaving their house. And so even still 6 years later, I think NASCAR has earned a lot of fans being that first sport back there when nobody had anything to do. So to me right now, and I think it continues to go, and NASCAR is even changing, especially bringing the chase format back. They're listening to the fans. They are evolving just like the fans are evolving. And I am ecstatic at where we're at right now as a sport.
I am too.
I think I agree with all those points, and not that I wouldn't, but I just that's my gut, what we feel, and we sort of gauge it week by week. Another thing that me and Dean mentioned was that they didn't have enough unique individuals at one point, but man, it seems like all of a sudden we got all these different kind of drivers. You got good guys, bad guys, depending on who you are. You got young, you got some people smacking it around out there. They're getting a little mouthy on the podcast after the race. I think the identity factor that NASCAR struggled with is starting to soften a little bit, because it's not just one or two people like Kyle Larson or somebody else that they know. They're starting to know more guys.
They are.
That's what I feel.
I agree. And I think, you're starting to see some of these drivers show their personalities, and that helps, whether it be coming from social media or being, interviewed on TV. One kid that comes to mind right away, Noah Gragson. That kid's got a great personality. He's good for the sport. And, I just thoroughly enjoy the shenanigans that you see from, the guys like Noah Gragson. Then you have guys like Ty Gibbs, who, he's got a personality, quiet kid, but a personality. He's out there bike riding during the off weeks. And a lot of these guys are really opening up and showing their personal lives on social media, on top of, just being, in a fire suit and racing a car every Saturday or Sunday, depending on what series they're in. But it's refreshing to see that we are getting some of these personalities back. And I think a lot of it, and you even look at the podcasts, Denny Hamlin's podcast, Denny's shown his personality, and all these different drivers finding ways to show who they are, what they do outside of, being in a fire suit and the helmet. It's pretty cool to see. And it, again, I think I've really enjoyed seeing where we're at, as this sport has evolved. Back in the day, I'm a race fan since 1995, 96, when I turned on ESPN, and it was a battle at Bristol between Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt. And, back then, the only way these guys got their message out was, interviews, when the camera was off. So they had to show a personality, and they did. And to see where we're at these days, it is refreshing.
Yeah, and you mentioned podcast. I've seen Juniors. It's a great one. I love the honesty and the transparency and the laughter. They just let it rip. I love that. It's not cookie cutter. I don't think people want that anymore. I think they want to see, like you said, the personalities, the stories, and all of that. And I'm glad to see all these guys. I hope every one of them gets one. There's room for everybody.
Oh yeah,
out there, because there's so many people in the world that love racing. They're going to find you. You got a show on, and you got something that somebody wants to hear. They're going to find you.
That's right.
But I just think that's amazing, and I don't know that NASCAR would ever admit to it, but I got to feel like to the world they play tough. But behind the scenes, I think they're clapping when they see a little fisticuff, just a little one, just a little bit that hits the news. I think they're okay with that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the one I think back to was during COVID when it was Harrison Burton and Noah Gragson getting.
Oh yeah.
But I think a lot of these guys, as of late, it's been somewhat calm, which isn't a bad thing. But you think back to Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott at Bristol in 2000. I believe that was 2021.
It was.
I was at that race then, and I remember, the Harvick slamming the helmet on top of the car, the glasses going flying, and so we've seen different things here and there over the last couple of years that keep that fire ignited, and for the race fans who do enjoy that type of stuff, they're still getting a taste of it.
Also, one more that pops, and Dean may have something for because I really want to go back and talk about your story, how you got here. The effect, and I hate to even mention it, but the effect of losing a couple of really nice, well-known guys. I mean, one, maybe he had his enemies, but, Biffle and just what's happened, this year. What are you hearing? What do you see out of that? I don't even know what I would ask on that, but what are you seeing from your end of being at tracks that the effect that has had?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been quite a while since we lost a driver who was currently active in the sport. And obviously that just happened back in May with Kyle Busch, which was just awful. I mean, and you look back at it, and Kyle winning at Dover, what was that, a week before?
Yeah.
And the line that he left us, you never know when it's going to be the last one. That still sticks with me. That's haunting. But, Kyle was rough. You either loved him, you hated him, but you respected him. And for Greg Biffle, I mean, there was just nobody nicer, nobody more down to earth. I had Greg Biffle on Miles on Motorsports back in 2023, and just setting that whole interview up with his wife at the time, and how we ended up going about it and recording it during the day for the show that night, and speaking to his wife on the phone. That was just awful, awful, awful news that happened a week before Christmas.
Yes.
But both of these guys, are I've seen a lot of tributes at the different racetracks. Obviously, I was at Talladega in April before Kyle Busch passed away, and then I was at Pocono in June after Kyle passed away. At Talladega, they had many tributes for Greg Biffle there out in the fan zone. Many different, tributes to him. You could sign a hood that had his number 16 on it. But then we got to Pocono, and the tributes for both Greg and Kyle were everywhere. I mean, they painted a brand new rock in the middle of the infield at Pocono, if you've ever been there. A lot of the legends of that track, get a rock after they retire or whatnot. I watched that rock from the first night I was there, and I got there Friday early in the day. Friday night, Saturday, and by Sunday, there were so many, beer cans there, Busch Light beer cans, the Zone tobacco cans, M&Ms. They paid tribute to them in that way there. But also the racetrack itself, Pocono, had a big giant banner where the at the start finish line in the infield where the paddock is. That's the word I was thinking of. The paddock where the fans can stand. They had a Biffle and Kyle Busch banner there, as well as on the walls. The number 8 was painted, and we've seen that in the grass at some tracks as well. At New Hampshire, so far from what I saw this weekend, a cool tribute to Kyle Busch is when you pull in the main gates at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, there's a giant banner on the side of the racetrack there, on the outside of, I guess, what would be one of the elevators. a big Kyle Busch banner, because Kyle Busch won a lot at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He won a lot at Pocono as well. And so there is that tribute. Don't know what else there's going to be. The best I can tell your listeners is if you like Miles on Motorsports on Facebook this weekend, I certainly will be posting whatever the tributes are to them there in a post at some point throughout this weekend.
Awesome. And just to tag on that, you have the story, the backstory of the kids, certainly for him, and then some of the others, Harvick. Right. And so now with all this publicity and podcast and just 24/7 racing and everybody that's covering it, now you get their stories covered, which in the past they might not have been as well known. I mean, back in the day, I knew Mark Martin had a kid that was racing, on the karts and stuff. But nowadays they got their own, dude, it's like their own team. They get their own sponsorships and stuff. This is a whole different world we're in.
It's an absolutely, totally different world, than back in the day. And, again, a lot of that goes back to social media. As social media can be either a really good thing or it can be, it can be tough. And these kids are taking social media, using social media, using their names as well, but they're really getting themselves out there. I mean, you look at Brexton Busch and just the story since his father's passing. Brexton is back out there racing. He won a couple of weeks ago. He's embracing being, that driver that so many fans rooted for his father. He's saying, hey, I'm here. And at some point, I'm going to be the next guy up with that last name Bush, and I hope you'll root for me. And he's doing a heck of a job as a young kid right now.
Oh, he is.
Amazing. It's amazing. Sir Chaser here, he's a Chase Elliott fan. Of course, he liked Bill. I grew up with Petty and, back in the day, Ernie Irvin and some of Davey Allison, and I've got a couple that I like today, Blaney, and there's Larson. There's a couple that I like. But who did you grow up liking as a driver when you got into the sport?
Easy question, easy answer. So Dale Earnhardt fan first. That was, like I said, watching the battle between him and Terry Labonte at Bristol. I was an Earnhardt fan from the get-go. And then, obviously, I've always kind of had, a number one driver, a number two driver. Tony Stewart was my number two guy. When Earnhardt and him were both racing, I was a Tony Stewart fan throughout his career, except the year he kind of went and ran a Toyota. I'm not a big Toyota guy, but and now I'm a Ford guy now. These days, I'm a Keselowski fan. Always, been a big Brad fan since Tony retired in 2016. But to see Tony still out there doing his thing, I still get to root for him. I was up at the New England Dragway in Epping, New Hampshire back in June. Tony was up there running. So I still get to root for Tony. It's in a different type of car now, but still a lot of fun, and really just thoroughly enjoy watching what he continues to do. But obviously I was always a Junior fan too. The years Tony was my number one guy. Dale Jr. was right there too. And Junior is just an awesome guy, and he's done so much for the sport.
What is your views on Connor Zilic going to Hendricks in 2028?
I think it might have been the biggest not so surprise. I think when Bowman and I had announced about, a month or so ago that he was going to be retiring from full-time after next season, I think the writing was on the wall that Connor Zilic would go there. Not to say, and not to go down a rabbit hole and say, well, if this didn't happen, could that have happened? But, maybe, I don't know, if the plan was for Bowman to wait another year, if he had, let's say Kyle Busch didn't pass away, did they have a game plan? Not to go down that rabbit hole, but was Kyle Busch going to go there for a year or two until Zilic was ready? We'll never know. But I'm not surprised by it. I think Hendrick has had his eye on Connor Zilic and getting him in one of his cars here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and we had even heard rumors, that maybe, they might have took the veteran driver there and kind of held that spot. There was a lot of things floating around last year and into this year, and so I don't think it's a huge surprise. Now now that they let the news of, Bowman get out there for a bit, and then come back behind it and make another, another announcement.
Right.
There could be a driver or two squeezed out. There's only so many spots. Josh Berry, I just don't know for him right now. I'm thinking with his veteran status, maybe, but there's going to be somebody not going to have a ride. They're just going to have to drop down and race the O'Reilly, I think.
You're right.
Yeah, and it, right now it could be Josh Berry. I mean, there's still a lot of floating parts. I think a lot of answers for 2027 have already wrapped up now, but I mean, there is quite that possibility that we see Josh Berry maybe back in O'Reilly's next year, and who knows what the game plan is, but I wouldn't be surprised right now by that.
Oh, who do you think's going to drive the 33 car next year? Do you think it'll be Josh Hill, or do you think somebody else might jump in?
Oh, the 33 for Richard Childress.
Yes.
As of right now, I don't see any reason that they don't bring Austin Hill in full time. If there's another name, I haven't heard it, but is Josh Berry in that discussion? Who knows? But right now, I don't see any reason that it's not Austin Hill.
Right.
Hello to our guests, and it's good evening here. So wherever you're from,
it's
good morning. We thank you for watching.
Good morning.
Miles Heger, our guest here from and talking about racing and announcing. And I know we have a ton of NASCAR questions, but I'm going to go back and tell me how you got in the radio end of it. You had this love of NASCAR. How did you do other radio before that, or how did you get to this point?
I did. I actually, I was on another local radio station up here back in the day, similar to what I do now. Basically, I buy the airtime from the radio station, and I sell sponsorship to, local businesses sponsor my show, and I pay the radio station that way. So I did that with another hobby at the time. I had a country music show we're going back 15 years now. I think it was like 2011, where I did the same thing. And then when that radio station folded, I actually was on a variety show. A friend of mine, it was more of a politics / everyday stuff, sports type of stuff. I was like the third host for about 3, almost into a fourth year. And that's when I pulled the trigger and I said, it's time for me to do this idea that I have, Miles on Motorsports, and we've went with it, and it's been great. I've had a blast. Actually, tomorrow night I have a dinner to get awarded I won the Best of South Shore here in Massachusetts for local radio personality, which is a tremendous honor. So tomorrow night's that dinner. Tonight, we got the show here. Great to jump on with you guys. And then Wednesday, it's my show, and it's heading to Loudon. So busy week, but exciting week.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
You deserve the applause. We appreciate it for that. And I love it. I've done radio a long time, and got into podcasts, and we got a plan. Hopefully we'll be successful.
Yeah.
We've grown a lot over 2 years. So we've learned good things, bad things, and how to do it. Right. And, just like NASCAR's changed, radio, podcast, all that stuff has changed so much. And now it's morphing in overdrive right now. There's so many things going on, and there's so many things out there. But if you've got a good product, people will find you.
That's right.
And once they have a home, they like that home. People are loyal to what they like. And we find those that like what we do, and they'll stick around. We just hope a whole bunch more do it. So,
Right.
But, I love to see passion, and you can sense that in what you're saying and how you like to do it. I love, that you're excited about it and share it. And it comes through when you're talking about it, because it's something that you do and you're passionate about. And, I always say, if you're doing what you love, you never work.
That's right.
You don't work a day in your life, and you can see that
you're.
I don't know what you did previously, but you're having fun. That's for sure.
I'm having fun. I do have a normal 9 to 5 that that pays the bills and does all that. But hey, you never know if NASCAR comes calling or somebody comes calling, and I can make radio / reporting the full-time gig. I'm going to jump at it for sure.
I would too.
until then, it's fun. It's a hobby. We're doing a lot of good work for the sport, and I'm enjoying it. But hopefully someday somebody calls, and we'll see what happens.
Give us a shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah, who sponsors your show?
Yeah, we've got Chuckrin's Auto Parts, which is a local auto parts company in Bridgewater, which is the next town over from me. They're a big sponsor, big supporter of the show. Can't do it without them. But also Emma's Pub and Pizza, which has 2 great locations in Bridgewater, Mass. as well. Ron and his team, they've been on board since the inception of the show. We're in our 4th year now. I believe this coming Wednesday is going to be our 189th show.
Wow.
And Emma's has been on board since the get-go. Can't do it without them. We've also we've got Hanson Insurance. They're my insurance company. They've jumped on board. They support us. We appreciate them. We've got Perfectly Flavored and the South Shore Food Truck Association, which has jumped on board for the summertime. They've got some great food truck events going on up here on the South Shore of Massachusetts. And then the Wheels of Time, which is a local car club. They have car shows. They jumped on board for the summer, so appreciate them as well. And we've had a lot of other different partners who've jumped in and out on board here, and they come and go, and they come back, and we appreciate all of them as well.
Great. And talking about sponsorships, and go back to NASCAR, which is always the challenge. I mean, you've got teams that struggle with that. You have some, but I think every team, we see the changing car almost week to week now.
Oh yeah,
depending on who's the sponsor of the week, and they have their main guys, but some of them are switching around, and sometimes you got 3 cars of the same sponsor.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It's a little confusing to me. I need a play card sometimes, just know who's on what car.
It's not like the old days. You've got so many moving parts these days, and to sponsor a race car is not cheap. And a lot of these companies, there are a couple cars that have the same sponsor a good chunk of the season, but it's not like the old days of, the 3 car was Goodwrench every race.
Right.
The 5 car was Kellogg's. A lot of interchangeable parts. It is funny, just before I jumped on here with you guys tonight, I was looking at the entry list for New Hampshire Motor Speedway this weekend, and the Dollar Tree 301, Dollar Tree is the sponsor of the race. They're on 2 cars in the Cup Series this weekend. And then I got looking throughout the entry list, and you've got Monster sponsoring 2 cars, which of course Monster normally sponsors. Ty Gibbs sponsors Riley Herbst. They're on 2 cars this weekend. Then there's another sponsor this weekend too, that is going to be on 2 cars in the Cup Series. So we're going to be seeing double this weekend up at New Hampshire Motor Speedway up in Loudon, which is kind of cool. But it's not like the old days, of course, like I said, STP was on Richard Petty's car.
Oh yes.
It's just it's the different world we live in, and these companies trying to maximize the most eyes on their brand when they can, and they try all these different things, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I was thinking business must be pretty good at the old Dollar Tree for them to put the sponsorship on the race, and I thought that's big for them.
It is.
It may be the sign of the times and the struggling economy and people and all the expenses. People are kind of going down to more affordable stores, and I'm sure Dollar Tree is reaping the benefit of some of that, like other stores like them.
They should.
And so, I mean, that's a good sign for them. I don't know if it's a good sign for some other companies.
True.
But that's big for them, and they'll get a lot of exposure. And whenever I go to Dollar Tree, there's a lot of people there. So
yes,
moving around. And, I get some good bargains there, so I like it. What's your feeling about? I was just throwing it. There's a couple things that popped in my head, and I don't mean like no dirt or nothing like that, but from the outside, people have their, the people they can't stand, whether it was the back in the day, Dale or Kyle Busch or whatever. And today there's a couple of drivers, I think, that are kind of that bad boy.
Oh yeah.
And we may have different ideas on who that is. There's a lot of, there's a lot of people get on Bubba. There's a lot of people get on Hocevar. He's become the black hat kind of guy.
Yes.
And there's probably a couple more, but my question is among the drivers, do you think that there's a lot of respect for both of those guys? They just don't like how sometimes they perform on the track. I don't want to put words in their mouth.
You know, I mean, obviously the race fans, they're going to have their guys that they don't cheer for, whether it be, again, because they drive a Chevy or a Toyota or whatnot. There's always going to be those guys. You know, I was an Earnhardt fan as a kid. I wasn't a Gordon fan. You know, I didn't like Jeff Gordon back in the day. But watching the sport now, to me, I just enjoy watching the storylines play out. You know, I don't necessarily have a dog in the fight that I don't care for. You know, I mean, I'll tell you from a reporting side of things, one guy that was always pretty tough at the track was Kyle Busch to talk to. And I'll be honest with you, I had him, I got him one time up at Oxford Plains Speedway, had a great conversation with him. And, you know, just ever since Kyle went to Chevy and he was running with Richard Childress, it was hard not to like Kyle, you know, after leaving the Joe Gibbs days behind. And, you know, so really since that, I don't really have anybody that, you know, as a fan, you know, taking the reporting hat off and putting the fan hat on, I don't really have anybody I don't necessarily care for right now. I just enjoy watching, you know, the racing week in, week out. I know a lot of people don't like Joey Logano outside of New England. I see he gets booed quite often at a lot of the tracks, especially down south. But I'll tell you, Joey is absolutely a fantastic guy, fantastic racer. He's obviously shown he's a 3-time champion and now continuing to climb up the wins list. He's at 39 after his win this past weekend at Richmond. Does he tie Matt Kenseth this week? No, Kenseth has 39 too. He can tie somebody with 40, and it would be awesome to see. Oh, I know who it is. It's Mark Martin, and Mark Martin is actually going to be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway and up in New England this weekend for the Dollar Tree 301. I think it would be cool if Joey Logano can get to victory lane. The fact that Mark Martin's going to be in the building, and that would be kind of a cool picture to see that, you know, he tied Mark Martin on the all-time wins list at track.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a great storyline. Is there a driver or two that has surprised you this year or disappointed and you thought they would do better? I'm not putting them down. It's just they haven't been there. And then behind that, is there somebody we should be watching that maybe even going into next year, maybe we're not paying attention to as much as we should?
Well, I'll tell you right now, the first person that comes to mind of a surprise this year, Carson Hocevar. And I was at Talladega when Carson got his first career Cup Series win. That party, that celebration that he put on out there was excellent. So first person, like I said, that comes to my mind, Carson Hocevar, is a surprise. Somebody that struggled this year that I think should be a little bit better, and who knows what's going on. It's Brad Keselowski. I think Brad, you know, Brad has just not done what I think he can do. And I know he's wearing a lot of different hats. You know, I think that the team owner role, the driver, who knows what's going on there. I mean, he broke his leg just before the season. Could that be something, you know, that's still weighing on his mind? But Brad has surprised me, not in necessarily a good way, because I think he struggled, and, you know, you never know. We say it now, and he could go out and he could win at Loudon this weekend and surprise everybody because he's won there before.
Yeah.
The one that surprised me this year is Corey Haim.
I am very surprised in a good way by Corey Haim too. I can't believe going out and running that San Diego road course.
I know it.
And winning was that was a surprise. And then he backs it up with the Brickyard 400. Like, wow, how do you do that? You know, and now he's not even going to be able to get, you know, the award that he probably should get if he ran a full season, the Rookie of the Year. He's already got 2 wins. I mean, if you're talking Rookie of the Year or 2 Cup Series wins, I'm taking the 2 Cup Series wins and foregoing the Rookie of the Year. But that's, you know, that's just me.
Me too.
Yeah. Is there somebody that's outside of the cut? They're somewhere there that we need to be paying attention to. There's a lot of candidates. So I say they're stuck right in the middle of this thing. They're not separating themselves. Is there somebody there that you think could make a move in the next year or so that could be up there in the top 15, top 10, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of guys right now outside the cut line that I think could make the playoffs. They could surprise you. Remember, we've got New Hampshire this week, and we've got Daytona, and then the chase starts. Daytona is a wild card, as we all know. But right now, I just think this mid-season stretch, and we've continued to say it on our show, this is like Ford season right now. This is the time Fords come alive.
Yeah.
And they get really hot. And, Blaney's already in the chase. Logano's in the chase. Cindric's, I think, safely in right now. He hasn't gotten a win, but he's been running consistent. But again, you've got those guys like Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, who've all been very quiet this year. New Hampshire certainly provides that opportunity. I think Blaney, the defending winner, is going to be a Ford that you're going to see up front. But also Logano probably should, have a decent day at New Hampshire. But two Fords that kind of you shouldn't sleep on, especially at New Hampshire, are a guy like Josh Berry and a guy like Brad Keselowski. I think that this track is in their wheelhouse. Berry finished second last year to Blaney, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
And he's peaking really well right now. His finishes have been good, really good the last couple of weeks. And so he definitely, talking about Berry. And I agree on Preece. I thought he's going to be a little bit better. He's another guy that, the Fords are doing well, but I think he's another one that's right there. What about Hendrick? They just really have never gotten the speed consistently to win. To stay near the top, yes, that's a problem they're going to have to figure out. They've gotten a little bit better. Byron has been, to me, he's hung around the top, but he had so much speed last year. I'm just amazed.
Well, I'll say this. We say it now, and New Hampshire has not been a track that's necessarily friendly to the Hendrick Motorsports team. We say it now, and watch. It'd be a surprise win from a guy like William Byron or Kyle Larson, this coming weekend at Loudon that we really didn't see on the radar. They just, I don't know what they're missing this year. I don't know. I've from what we had a discussion on our show last week or the week before, that the Chevrolet teams might not necessarily be playing nice in the sandbox with each other right now. And that goes for, again, Spire, Hendrick, Trackhouse. They might not be communicating as well from a brand perspective. True. And I think that could be something that is, quite possibly hindering all the, especially Hendrick Motorsports right now in the Cup Series.
What is your feeling about the recent changes NASCAR has made in relation to the stage and when that caution comes out? Do you like that? Do you think that's a good move, or what's your thoughts on that?
I do. I think it gives the opportunity to extend a stage, and now these crew chiefs are going right back to the drawing board. And, you really got to use some strategy if the caution happens or plays out to where the stage gets shortened and the next stage is longer. Keeps the crew chiefs on their toes, I think. I'm all for it. See how it continues to play out, but I like it.
And I think this year we have not seen the issue with tires. Tires have not been a bad issue as far as blowing out, and motors even blowing up. It's not been bad. However, the amount of tires has been the story. I think.
Yeah.
You get hold of.
You want to talk tires? You think New Hampshire Motor Speedway has that ability to eat up some tires this weekend, and hate to say the 4-letter R word, but if we do get any of that, and it's light enough, we could also see rain tires at Loudon, which we have seen in the past before. So tires could be a discussion this week. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, they had the softer compound tire up there, and it did cause a couple of tire issues with a couple of cars. But that is always a possibility at Loudon, is to see cut tires and cars in the wall. So wouldn't be one bit surprised.
I cannot believe it. This year we had more Toyota wins this year than we did Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota every week.
Yeah, they're putting on a show. I don't like Toyota, but
right. But it's been a show for them.
Yeah.
I mean, Fords, like I said earlier, Fords have entered the chat now the last couple of weeks with Blaney winning and Logano winning twice, and right in that wheelhouse. But you never know. Never say never. New Hampshire Motor Speedway is a Toyota track in more ways than one, in the sense of the Toyotas have always done pretty well up here. And, I wouldn't sleep on Christopher Bell this weekend. I wouldn't sleep on Denny Hamlin. Denny hasn't won at New Hampshire in a couple of years now, but normally when I'm at a racetrack, either Denny Hamlin or Christopher Bell finds a way to victory lane. Bell's running the Truck Series on Saturday up in Loudon. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if he wins that race up there. But John Hunter Nemechek also going to run the Truck Series on Saturday. It could be a battle between Toyotas and the trucks on Saturday between Bell and Nemechek. And I know Nemechek's not necessarily a guy you think of to win, but in the Truck Series, I think he certainly can. And I wouldn't be one bit surprised if we see more Toyotas in victory lane this weekend.
Do you see Dodge coming back in the Cup Series?
I think Brad Keselowski kind of squashed that rumor a little bit. I think at some point, yes, I believe that it's possible. I don't think it's going to be overnight and, like this coming year. I think they're trying to work the bugs out in the Truck Series right now and learn the Truck Series program. Maybe a couple of years down the line, I think it's a possibility, but I don't think you'll see it, next year or the following year.
I had the opportunity through a friend, he's actually his son-in-law, who played offensive lineman at Oklahoma State. I think was there because of an injury, I think 5 years. He actually, as we've seen these pit crews become more athletic and big and fast and all that, he actually went through the Joe Gibbs and the Hendrick. There's a testing they do. They bring all these guys in. He was actually the tallest guy, 6'5". He's a big guy, but they thought he would be a great guy to handle the gas, which would make sense. But I did get to see a little bit of a video that just, because they have the cars set up, they go in, they, time just like the real drivers, and you got to get through some stages on that. But there's a lot of competition for that among athletes nowadays to get on those pit crews that I've ever seen before. Have you had the opportunity to interview any of the pit crews and some of these guys that maybe come from college football or NFL?
Well, the current day guys, I always make it a point to shoot the breeze with them in the garage and passing and whatnot. But haven't really had any of the crew guys per se, except actually, a car chief, Tommy Ellis, who is a New England guy. Tommy is Joey Logano's car chief. I've had him on the show. The biggest to date on the show, on our YouTube channel, you type in Miles on Motorsports on YouTube, had Chocolate Myers on, and Chocolate, that's still our highest viewed YouTube interview from the show, 24,000 views. But the current day guys, to see what they go through, what they do, their peak shape, like you said, a lot of them former football players. These guys they're machines out there, and they do a heck of a job, changing tires, fueling the car in, 12 seconds and getting these cars off pit road. And so to see their day in and day out approach is pretty special.
Yeah. I believe that he got through the initial. He has to go through another one. I think that's coming up in October, November or something. And, they're talking about if he gets in this thing, because they just got married and his new wife has a career, but she could move that a little bit and they could transfer around the country. But I thought it was interesting to find out that Hendrick pays their pit crew, at least from what he heard, I don't know the number, a little bit better than Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
So he didn't know which one he might have the best shot at, but he was obviously hoping for a little more money, as being a new guy and a gas man and all that. What is the, where do you, for you, what is race day? I mean, you're there, you're covering the night, and you got the party and all. But what is a race day like for you? I mean, there's so much activity at a racetrack. What is it like for you as someone who's trying to cover it?
Well, I can tell you kind of what I do, especially, you know, again, back to home track, Loudon. I haven't missed a race in Loudon now since I started going back in the fall of 2013. Back in the day, I worked for the Boston Red Sox organization, so like the race weekends for me were a getaway once our season ended, or if you know if the Sox were on the road and I was able to go, I would, and that you know, come 2013 now, the summer race in Loudon I couldn't do. The fall race I did, and I've been back every year ever since. I haven't missed a Loudon race. So Sunday morning, I normally will get up in the campground, make my way down. There's a local breakfast place right down the street on Route 106, and try to get up early enough, you know, 7, 8 o'clock, so I can get back to the campground to get into down to the fan zone, do all the stuff, but kick it off with a good breakfast and then make my way back and, you know, try to get all the sights and sounds in wherever, you know, I really enjoy walking the fan zone. For the most part, I see a lot of the people that I've gotten to know in Loudon over the years throughout the weekend. So there are the occasional stragglers who just come up Sunday who I do end up getting to see. But, you know, make my way through the fan zone, check out all that, those amenities. And then once the garage opens, which is normally somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock, try to get into the garage for a bit and then, you know, just roll with the day, you know, walk the track, get to my seats. I'm, you know, reporting first, obviously, but I'm a fan on race day, and I got a lot of friends who will be up there, friends, co-hosts of my show, and we make a day out of it. We actually watch the race itself from the stands as fans, and then kind of do our thing and, you know, get ready to head home on Monday morning.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. How long does it take a while to get out of there with all those people leaving?
Well, I gave up leaving Sunday night, probably my first or second year back there, which would have been 2014, 2015. And so we've now stayed until Monday, and it's cool. Monday morning, you know, as long as Mother Nature cooperates on Sunday, Monday morning you get up, and half the time Monday morning I'm up at like 5:30, and especially in Loudon, before the sun's up, and I'm packing, you know, everything up, and you know, I'm hitting the road, hitting the same breakfast place on the way out of town. I don't like to rush out of there on Monday, but sometimes I do like to kind of get back home quick enough so if I have to, I can work a half day at work or whatnot. But early Monday morning riser, and you know, say goodbye to the couple of last people I know. But we'll be up in X-Lot Sunday night, no matter what, until they shut the lights off and send us home. We've done that pretty much every year at a couple of the different spots Sunday night, and you know, it's just a fun weekend.
Great. As a fan, being at tracks, what jumps out as the best of the best experience? Maybe that was the ending of a race, or what really stands out?
I mean, I've got so many memories from Loudon. Obviously, Loudon being the home track. That being said, Bristol, you know, a couple of the Harvick, Chase Elliott, you know, battle at Bristol in 2021 there, where they were pushing and shoving after the race. That was a good one. Talladega, I mean, I think last year or 2 years ago at Talladega, where they all wrecked in the tri-oval coming to the start.
Oh yeah, I think it was last year. I think.
Yeah, that was. It was the year Tyler Reddick won, which would have been 2 years ago, I think. But Hocevar's win this year, that was fun.
Yes.
Poconos had, you know, I mean, I'll go back to Kyle Busch, you know, looking at it back then and being the guy maybe booing when it happened. Looking back now on some of the cool burnout photos I have from Kyle Busch winning, especially Pocono and especially New Hampshire. You know, I think the best New Hampshire memory to me that sticks out to this day is the battle between Kevin Harvick and I think it was Denny Hamlin, where Harvick nudged Hamlin off turn 4 and came to the checkered flag and won it. That was a good one at New Hampshire. So can't really pinpoint one. I've got a lot of them, but that's one that still sticks in my mind. But you never know. Maybe this weekend we get one.
That's right.
Do you listen to any of the radio traffic at the race, or you just talk to your friends? Or
I used to do the headsets. To me, I like to watch it. I like to talk to the friends and see how different things are playing out throughout the field, the different passes, type of strategy. Do I miss the headphones? Yes, I probably should wear them because I'm sure my hearing's not that great. But I like to kind of watch different battles throughout, and kind of think at how this is happening or how that's happening. So I haven't done the headsets in a couple of years though now.
I just wondered. I think there are those who do and those who don't, and there's different reasons why. But I went to a lot of concerts back in the day, and I didn't wear hearing protection. Now I would probably wear something a little bit.
I bear them on my ears.
Yeah,
I have to.
It was pretty loud the dirt track. I did wear some protection. So. You may not want to do it, but before we let you go, who do you think's going to win this whole thing? Championship.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I think the chase format benefits the older guys a little bit. I don't want to say it, but I think this could be Denny Hamlin's year.
I agree. Denny Hamlin or Jordan Logano. One of them two is going to get it.
We have all been in unison on that.
I would be okay with Joey Logano getting a 4th championship. I mean, you look at it, he's gotten 3 out of the chase for the playoff format. It'd be nice to see him get one in the chase, and he's coming alive at the right time right now. I think he's 9th in points, there in striking distance. But does a guy like Tyler Reddick, who started off the season so well, find a way to get back in a rhythm here later in the season and get that championship? That's a guy we can't sleep on either.
Yeah, we can't. No.
We thank you so much, Miles. Here, give your name of your show again and how they can find you before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, Miles on Motorsports. We're on Facebook. You type in Miles on Motorsports, you'll see a nice caricature of a guy that kind of looks like me. And we're on every Wednesday night. You can listen online, stream us. 959watd.com on Wednesdays at 7 Eastern. And then if you miss an interview, we've got all of our interviews from, into our 4th year now on our YouTube channel. Same thing. Type in Miles on Motorsports. That's MYLES on Motorsports, and it'll come right up. Or you can Google Miles on Motorsports and everything shows up. So
awesome.
It's all right there.
Do you have any merchandise?
Working on some stuff right now. I've got some ideas. We've got some t-shirts probably in the pipeline. I do want to do some stuff like that. Probably get another batch of hats. I've done a lot of the free little giveaway stuff over the years. When I go to a race weekend, I have like koozies that I give out. Working on another batch of getting some koozies, but stay in touch. And when I do get some stuff, I'll definitely send you guys some your way, and you guys can represent down there. But some stuff is in the pipeline. Some ideas are in the pipeline.
All right, my friend. Anything you want to share before we go? We appreciate you so much for being on and for giving us an hour of your time.
Continue to support the sport. Support those who support the sport, those sponsors out there that put their brands on different cars.
That's right.
And continue to talk up racing. Support your local short tracks. That's important. Those, they're just as important as going to a NASCAR weekend,
right.
Whether it be the dirt track or the local, 3rd mile short track. We've got a bunch of them up here. Got to shout them all out. Seekonk, Lee, Star, we've, Oxford Plains, Ricky Craven's got a new speedway up in Bangor, Maine now. So support the local tracks, because if you don't, they might be turned into high rises.
That's right. They are.
We won't be happy with that.
No. Thank you for being on. We'll replay. This is live, and we're on many different things, including we're now on Roku. So on our Roku app, but this will replay several times. We'll put it out as a live replay. And we thank you so much. Have a blessed night and enjoy your evening. And
thank you.
Have a great race weekend, my friend.
Thank you. You too, guys. Pleasure to talk to you. And when I see the link, if you have it on Facebook, send it to me. I'll blast it out on the Miles on Motorsports Facebook page too.
Thank you so much. We'll play some music, let you get out of here. We'll be back in just a few minutes, folks.
Dave and Dean roar each week, spin the wheels, engines speak, tracks of fire, dust and smoke, southern skies, the throttles choke, fast and fierce, racing souls, tearing through the endless cold, twisted metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern fire racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern fire racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern fried, racing breed. Southern fried, racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern fried racing breed.
Down in the red clay under Friday night lights, roaring V8's kicking up a storm in the night. Welded frames rattling, tires screaming, hold on tight. We live for the slide, boys, that's our birthright. Cornbread man's grilling, got the ribs on the pit. The chasers wheeling deals, never gonna quit. Marine standing tall like he owns the whole track. Biscuit boys eating biscuits, got gravy on his back. Dirt report coming at you loud and clear. Talking slide jobs, wrecks and racing gear. From the high banks to the flip-flop falls, we interview the kings of these southern walls. Slide them sideways, kick up that dust cloud high. Dirt track heroes riding under neon sky. Midnight rider howling, Hot Wheels burning rubber. Desi calling the shots, ain't no other. Hot Wheels spinning donuts just to show his flair. Midnight rider sneaking past like he don't care. Desi's got the mic asking how'd you wreck so bad. They laugh and tell stories about the times they went mad. We got moonshine wisdom and tire smoke tales. From late model flying to street stocks on rails. Biscuit boys yelling past the hot sauce, y'all. While Marines planning strategy, standing 10 feet tall. Your report coming at you loud and clear. Talking cautions, checkers. tonight. Yeah, we might talk about that time Biscuit Boy flipped 3 times and still finished. Or how Hot Wheels claims he meant to do that. Marine says hoorah every time someone hits the wall. And Desi, she's the boss. Don't cross her, y'all. Dirt report, turn it up, let it roll. Dirt track stories, we got plenty more. From the backstretch brawls to the victory lane kiss, we live that red dirt life. Can't get enough of this. Slide 'em sideways, sideways. Kick up that dust cloud. Dirt report, baby, we're riding tonight.
We appreciate you staying with us. For those that were able to stay, and listen to some music and let our guests get out of here. What a great guest!
Yes, it was.
I never say a bad one because we've never had a bad
No,
one.
we hadn't.
We have had such great guests.
Oh, yeah.
And from all different sides of this thing, there are still some areas we haven't got.
No, we hadn't.
One day we'll get them all. We definitely want to get pit crew, and we want to get into some of the car haulers, and one day we'll get driver.
And I'm keen
at the NASCAR level.
And Marine tried to get me to get a Legends driver. I'm trying to get a Legends car driver next. I'm trying to.
Well, he's got a new movie coming out, right? I mean, that's a legend, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Just a whole smorgasbord of different things about NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
And from someone who's at the track a lot, covers it as well, and really enjoys what he does. But that was a lot of fun. And
yes, it was.
You know, your brain just goes crazy. You think of all the questions you could ask. But But I thought there were some good questions, and
there were.
I think he enjoyed those as well.
Oh, I do too.
Caught him off guard a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Had to think for a second.
Yeah.
That's a good question, you know. So we gave him some easy ones. We gave him some harder ones.
Oh, yeah.
But, what a great guy from our north.
Right.
North, closer to Canada than we are.
Off the north of Mason-Dixon line.
North of the Mason-Dixon line. Great guy. And we'll have him back. We'll have them all back. Lord willing.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some. I don't know if we've doubled up yet or not, but we will.
Do what now?
We got to get Logan back.
Oh, yeah.
Johnson. We got to get
Danielle
Scott, Danielle. There's a lot of these we got to get back up and talk to them. Well, let's continue the talk. I don't know if we'll get into any sports, but we might get a little bit at the end. But talk about Logano's win.
Yes.
And so I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. And there he is. He needs to wear a ball cap.
He does now.
I'm sorry. I'm not against Logano. I don't like the hairstyle.
I don't either,
he needs to put the hat on.
Right.
But, 73 points there, led 95 laps. Go Ford, F-O-R-D, first on race day.
There you go.
Dean.
That's right. I drive a Ford, so I have to say it.
There you go. Briscoe, we were talking to him earlier. Cindric, nice to get up there. Hamlin, always around the top 5.
Yes.
Who's that guy in 5th, Bubba?
Yeah.
No, Chase. You said yeah.
Well, I didn't see it at first. I was looking down, but I looked up. Yeah.
Chase Elliott, nice win. Larson, he's been right there the whole year.
Yeah.
Right in that area. Bell, good for him. He's been a little bit of a struggle.
Right.
Barry, another strong finish.
Byron.
Yeah, he's been around about in that area too.
Bowman.
Reddick, nice. A little bit lower for him. He should have been a little higher, but that's not bad.
Right. Ross Chastain.
Yeah. Blaney dipped a little bit. I was for Blaney. SVG got in that top 15. Ty Gibbs rounds it out. Then everybody else starts to be a little bit of a disappointment.
Where's Bubba at 20th? I see?
He was.
Yeah.
He was right ahead of Busher. I mean, come on now. John H. Nemechek.
Uh-huh.
Austin Hill, Riley Herbst. Connor with the big news.
Yeah.
Today, Brad Keselowski, a bad finish.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Jones, bad finish. Yeah, they should have been higher. McDowell, Custer, Gilliland, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Dylan.
The Dinger.
Yeah, he's done. Ding, ding, he's done.
Oh, yeah.
For another year. Cody Ware.
Josh Badicki.
And then Zane Smith. Hocevar, what in the world?
I don't know. He dropped down.
Yeah. Only ran 279 out of the race.
Yes.
And bad finish. So
yes, it was.
He's 22nd in the standings, but he's finished 37th on this day.
Right.
So we look at the standings. We'll flip over there, and there you go. Hamlin's still ruling the top. He's not going to lose in 2 weeks, I don't think.
No, he ain't.
Because he'll run consistent enough to be up there with him. Blaney, even though he still moved up one.
When they started Saturday, the top 7 is locked into the chase.
Okay. Then we see Blaney, Gibbs, Reddick, Briscoe, Elliott, and Bell,
right.
top 7.
Yeah.
And then Larson is deeply in there. No problem there.
Yeah.
Logano, Busher, Hocevar, Byron. Suarez, good for him. He moved down some, but Bubba's still in. Bubba's still in.
Slightly.
Well, he's ahead of Cindric.
Yeah.
And he's ahead of SVG. And I don't think that SVG is going to be able to knock him out. I think he's in unless he has two really, really bad go out early. I think Bubba's in. He don't have. I mean, the points are pretty close there, and Cindric's not really knocked the socks off of anybody this year. Anyway, to me, he's been fair.
He has.
SVG is not going to be on a road course, so I just don't think he's going to.
He won't.
I don't think he's going to make it. I kind of think Priest is going to come up there and take it from him.
I do too.
That's my opinion. But I don't see him finishing
Ross,
strong.
I don't see Ross doing it.
No, I think everybody else is pretty much done.
Yes.
Which is, and the points really fall off at this point.
Yes.
So there's going to be some guys like Keselowski. That's tough for him. Hey, he gave it to, the good old boy go with a bad leg. I mean,
yes.
So Eric Jones, disappointed there. I thought that 43 would get in the playoff chase. I thought he would. I thought McDowell would be a little higher. Dinger, I'm not surprised.
I don't either. Zane Smith, I'm not surprised.
No. There's a couple of these here, maybe. Bowman should have been higher.
Right. He should have been.
Barry should have been higher.
Yes.
And that guy, Connor Zillett, should have been higher.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why Hendricks picked him up. I just don't see why.
Well, they're banking on youth and probably what the price they was able to get him for at this time.
I would have got Corey Day first before I got Connor.
So he's going to have consistency now, but he's got a little while to mature up, grow up in the sport.
That's what me and Ken was talking today. I think Day would be a lot better choice than Connor.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he got picked up by somebody to
I know
but I don't know. That one may or may not work out.
That's a head scratcher for me.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. New Hampshire, which our
Dollar Tree
Miles was talking about. Yeah, the Dollar Tree 301. I wonder if all their prices will go to $3.01. $1.25. It's the $1.25 tree.
But it's the box store. All the boxes is in a way when you go in that store.
Yeah, well, you have to be like NASCAR. Well, it's more like a road course when you're going through there. You have to take a lot of rights and lefts to get down the aisle. And their aisles are real narrow. So like what bugs me is you go down the aisle and there's somebody parked right in the middle of the aisle. And they're in their own little world. They don't even know you're there. So a lot of times I just go around, come in the other side.
But like at Walmart, you go down the aisle and there's one of the order pickers right there at Walmart in your way.
Oh yeah, they're probably getting my order together.
I don't like the order pickers.
You don't like the order pickers?
No, they're always in the way.
What have they done to you, Dean, other than being your way?
That's it.
Yeah. You don't go over and bump a fender on them, kind of nudge them out of the way?
I move them out of the way. I do move them.
Do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
You say, excuse me.
Yes.
And then the big Daytona.
Oh, yeah. That is a slobber knocker there.
So we got to look at how this order finishes at New Hampshire.
Yes.
Because that's going to set up what may or may not happen at the Coke Zero Sugar 400
That's
Daytona.
Right. That's right. Coke Zero. Remember that, okay?
Well, we're still going to have our taste test. I ain't forgot, bub.
I thought you had.
No. Oh, no. We're going to do that. I have not forgotten. We're going to do that. Then we get in the Chase. We got the Darlington
Cookout. Oh, yes.
That's a great place to start Darlington. Somebody's going to wreck big time.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to scrape that wall.
Yeah, the Darlington Stripe.
And then Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Yeah.
Enjoy, Illinois. Madison, Illinois.
And then the Bristol night race.
Yeah, the Bristol night race. There's your casino, Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
Kansas City. Then Vegas, Charlotte, Phoenix.
And another casino, South Point.
Yeah. Well, how would you know? Just because it says Vegas, did you know that's a casino?
Yes, I did.
Oh, how much money have you lost there, Dean?
I didn't lose it. My money's still out there. Now I just gotta go get it.
Phoenix, Talladega, the Yellowwood 500.
Yes.
And then we get back into Martinsville, then close her up at Miami.
Right.
Lock up your belongings. It's in Miami. I shouldn't say that, but come on, it's Miami.
Yeah.
You know they got some crime going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. South Beach.
Championship. So we'll be looking at it week to week, just like we have, and we'll see what's going to happen. But, good job, Logano. Good job.
Yes.
Going to New Hampshire. I agree with our guest. This thing is wide open on who can win this thing.
It is.
He said the R word, rain.
Oh, yeah.
To play a part.
Yes.
So we'll see. Let's run just a quick commercial or two before we get to Dean's Notes, because Dean Notes is taken care of by these, and we need to play a couple. So and also about our other shows. We'll be right back, and then we're going to get into Dean's Notes. You don't ever know what he's going to cover.
That's right. That's right.
It's scary. I just never know.
No, you don't.
It's like a full moon's out, and howling in the woods. I mean, I just don't know.
That's right.
That's redneck stuff right there. I don't know.
Yeah, but what are we? We're rednecks.
Well, we'll see how redneck you are when we get back.
Okay.
See you.
Good evening. This is your host standing by our nation's heart. We are launching Patriot Nation News, your trusted source for daily updates. Join us every weekday, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on PNN News.
Let's kick this day off right, Wolf Nation. It's time to wake up, show up. First you pray up, then you coffee up. Grab your Wolf Nation coffee and tune into the Cornbread Man Morning Show at 6 a.m. EST. Don't you dare miss it.
You're not going to want to miss what we're cooking up this month. Make sure you tune in every single Saturday morning, live right here from Wolf Nation Studio. Keep your eyes peeled for the Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy. They're bringing the heat every week. We must find Biscuit Boy before the Lake Winnie local law enforcement officers do. I know you guys can smell his cigar. Let's go!
Stay low. Don't make a sound. He's getting closer. Are you kidding me? Right now?
I hear someone up there. Come out with your hands up.
We got nothing to tell you.
Where's Biscuit Boy?
Where y'all headed tonight? None of your business. We're pulling cars over to check for Biscuit Boy.
Do you see him?
What you have to say about this?
The wolf knows.
Wolf Nation Coffee. Right on!
All right, in the Wolf Nation Coffee, there is the QR code. Get you some today. Boy, we got like 6 blends, I think, in the studio. They are fantastic. We love that. And then along with that, we've got Mammoth Nation, lifetime supporter here, member of Mammoth Nation, also a QR code. You can join for as little as $5 a month. You'll get great deals from American-made, American conservative companies all over the country. Mammoth Nation, Patriot Mobile, the promo code is now Cornbread Nation, and you'll be seeing new graphics, infographics on that soon. We just made another order from Dubby, our new little helper, Gage, Buckshot, he calls himself. Biscuit Boy's grandson did a great job. He loved the Dubby. 10% off when you use promo code Southern Fried. And yes, we do go to Podbean you want a podcast, you don't want to be seen on screen, you can do just the audio, and use that promo code, save the first month's $14 to do that. Download the app and you are ready to go. It's a lot of fun. Get involved with it and become a podcaster. Those are cool things to be a part of. And if you want to support us, you can buy a coffee, as they call it. You can do that as little as $3 a month through that, or become a sub at our Substack, which is also on screen. That's as little as $4 or $5 a month, depending on how you pay. And you'll be supporting the work that goes on. And you'll get to see all the programs that we do, not just a few. Paywall is if you got a small business, you don't want to have to deal with invoicing and subscriptions and all that stuff. They'll take care of it for you. And they have very reasonable rates. I do want to say as well, we've been on Apple for some time. We've been in the Apple Creator Program for some time. We just do audio. Apple's going video now. So you're going to start seeing us on Apple in video as well. And don't forget, the biggest news of all is that we're on Roku. Roku is go to roku.com and look for Wolf Nation Network. Download that app. If you don't have a Roku TV, you can still download it. There's a way you can download that to your TV or your phone, as well as you can use your phone to mirror to your TV. All these TVs, they do everything you need them to do.
Right.
So get us at Roku. That's going to be the repository, that and Substack, for everything we do that you don't get to see on some of the others. So.
Right. Roku is, you can do that on your Apple phone or Google phone to replace through the Apple Pay or the Google Play.
Yeah, you can do that, and it's a very easy download. It's very quick. And we're going to be doing some upgrades there in the future. Right now, there's no playlist, but I'm working. I've got to get the video on demand up. There's 2 videos that play live all the time, but every time we go live, you'll see us live on Roku. And right now, there's no cost there. Everything is seen, but eventually we'll have subscriptions there as well. All right, a little bit of paying the bills, as they say.
That's right.
Taking care of some things. We also have our merch store. You'll be hearing more about our online store as we update that. And we have merch in studio. You're going to see us display behind me within the next week and a half of some very affordable things. If you're in the local region or if he wants to ship it to you, we'll work that out through Cash App or something like that. And we've got some cool stuff going on. All right, all that, especially Wolf Nation Coffee, is bringing you Dean's Notes. Dean, what you got from the race on Sunday?
No, Saturday.
Or Saturday, excuse me.
Those off Sunday. We was at Richmond Raceway, Richmond, Virginia. It was a 3/4 mile track. Caution speed, 45 miles. D shape. Year built, 1946.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yes. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series was supposed to be on at 7:30 Friday night. It rained out. Then they run it Saturday on FS2 at 12 p.m. Black's Tire 250 was in it by BTS Rewards. Shane Van Gisbergen got the pole. Caden Honeycutt won stage 1, stage 3, and the race. 250 laps, 107.5 miles. NASCAR Cup Series, Cookout 400. USA, 7 p.m. Saturday night. 400 laps, 300 miles. Ryan Blaney got the pole and won stage 1. Joe Logano won stage 2 and the race. Richmond Raceway, owner, NASCAR, 2019 to present. International Speedway Corp, 1999 to 2019. Open, 11 October, 1946. You was born that year, wasn't you, Dave? 1946?
Not quite. That's just a slightly before my time.
Cost was, get this, $10,000. Former names, Richmond International Raceway, 1988 to 2017. Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway. They used to have fairs at that raceway. 1969 to 1988. No name, 1946 to 1968. Originally was dirt, then paved in 1968. Ted Horn, 1933, won the first automobile race event at Richmond Raceway. Davey Addison, your driver.
Yep.
First race remodeled. Richmond Raceway, 1988. First Cup Series race at Richmond was 1953. 2001 race, Indy Racing League, IndyCar Corp. Richmond Raceway was a 1960 film. Thunder in Carolina. Also a documentary, Stock Cars, 1977. NASCAR is wanting to have a race in Europe. Did you hear that?
I did not.
Yeah, they got a European NASCAR league over there, but they want to take air cars to Europe too.
Where?
To somewhere in Europe. They hadn't specified what country yet.
I hope it's not Ukraine.
I do too. Noah Gragson signed a 1-year contract with Front Row Racing. That's the notes for the race.
The notes for the race. Well, who do you think's going to win this thing this week?
Oh, Lord. I'll put my money on Joey Logano.
Second.
Chase Elliott. Third. Ryan Blaney. Dark Horse. Ty Gibbs.
Not bad. Excuse me. I think Hamlin's going to win the race. I really do. I think Hamlin's going to win it. I'm going to put Blaney number 2. I think he's going to be right there. But I will go Chase 3. And I think Dark Horse, I think he's going to recover and race well, and that's Reddick. I'm going to put him as my Dark Horse. So there's my race car drivers for the week.
Okay. Marine has got Larson, Blaney, Briscoe, Dark Horse, Chase Elliott.
No Bubba?
No Bubba.
I love it.
Never get James's picks. He's not seen them to me yet.
James hasn't seen his yet.
No, continue talking and I'll text him while I'm doing it.
Also, folks, we're getting closer. We don't do it on this show, but we do. We're going to have our fantasy football league. If you'd like to be involved with that, I have a couple of teams open. We'll be having a show this week on that. Just let me know if you're into that kind of thing. We do it at CBS, so you'll be able to see all that in real time. So it's not like in the old days, pencil paper. But you'll be seeing more on that soon. And more on the dirt tracks as well. I know our friend Scott Smith come in 5th the other night.
Yeah, I saw that.
He come in 5th, but our boy, Mr. Calhoun, he won.
Yeah.
Got the big win. I was excited about that. So Scott will get back up there. He's figuring some things out about his car. He had a good run at 75. His son is running really well in the kart at I-75. Appreciate all them boys and getting out there and getting it done. And the local tracks, we still have our new show. We've got to get moving on it.
Yes.
But our Tri-State Racing News, and we're going to talk about the tracks that are mainly within 100, 150 miles of us in Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. And we'll talk about that as we get sort of straightened out. We had to get past some things like the big upgrade that we did. And we got another one we'll be doing, but not as big, and then a final big one next year possibly. So we got all the audio basically up, and next will be cameras and maybe a new desktop, just a little higher graphics and stuff. We really pushed the cameras, so we get a little glitch here and there. But yeah, thanks for being patient with us. Plus, it's only been a few weeks since my wife passed, and
right.
We've had a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
so haven't been as active, although we're still active. We've never not did a lot of shows. We just haven't done quite as many.
Right.
But promise is that those are going to get back online soon. We just had to get back, and we had some other things that was going on.
Right.
You know, technical stuff, storms,
and sickness,
you name it. It's been a challenging year.
It has
for us. 26 has been a challenging year.
Yes, it has.
But we've pressed on. We're so excited. We've got so many good things happening.
Yes.
And they're happening in the racing. And the racing really has been one of the shows that's really grown a lot. And we're excited about that.
You talk about the dirt racing world. I got a little update here.
All right.
Okay, James hit me his picks.
Great.
Let me get his picks before I go any farther. James picked Hamlin, Blaney, and Gibbs. Dark horse, Hocevar.
Good picks as well. This race is wide open this week. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Even SVG might win. Who knows?
Okay, here's talk about dirt racing. Calling all racers from Bowood Speedway in Ringo.
Yep.
Help preserve the history of Bowood Speedway. We will be filming a lost track episode for the Zach at the Track YouTube channel. When? Saturday, August 22nd, 9 a.m. Those invited, any driver, crew member, official, employee, or fan is welcome, especially those interested in going on camera. Where? Camp Jordan Kitchen Pavilion, 323 Camp Jordan Parkway, East Ridge, Tennessee. Due to filming permissions, we are meeting here instead of the Speedway. Schedule: 9 a.m. meet and greet. 9:15 group photo and storytelling and interviews to follow. Let's preserve the memories of Bowood Speedway before they are forgotten. Have photos, videos of this track. Email them to zachatthetrack@gmail.com.
Yeah, this would be great. Go if you're in the area, go if you can. It's not coming back, but
no,
the memories stay alive. And I think that'd be a fun event. So
I got to email you, Dave. I'm gonna text you some information about Speedway. If you can, bring this up with the link.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get.
If you can't do that tonight,
we'll put it out there on the channels, and that way it's not buried in a show. We'll put that out.
Okay, I'll send you these to you right now.
Yeah. We'll get those up. Give them their due diligence. Well, awesome, Indo. Well, we had a nice interview. We got some NASCAR in. Got our picks in.
Yes.
We're still raining a little bit.
Yeah.
But we thank you for watching SFP Racing Hour and Dirt Report, and soon Tri-State Racing News.
Yes.
As we really dive in on the local dirt track and grow this thing even more. Hope everybody has a great evening. We've got to get Dino back to Las Vegas before it gets too late. With the rain and the storms, he might get they might grab him when he crosses over the hill there at the funeral home.
I got security with me. I got my ring.
There's a place down in Georgia, and they used to call it the locals call it Booger Holler. And I said, why is it called Booger Holler? Well, there's a little incline there in the little town, and it's not much there, but the older cars, they would slow down at that area, and it was known for people to run out and rob the people. They were going so slow they could jump up on the car and put a gun or a knife to them and get their money and jump back off. They never stopped.
I've not heard that.
Look out for the Booger Man.
I've not heard that in a long time.
Yeah, Booger Holler. You got to watch them guys. So when you're going over, crossing over the line there from county to city.
Yeah.
You got to make sure nobody jumps on the side of your car.
That's right.
It's not the PT Cruiser now. But
no. I could run faster than a PT Cruiser.
You didn't have to worry about them stealing that. They'd say, just get out of here.
Yeah. They could have took it. I wouldn't mind it.
All right. We'll go out with some music. We appreciate you for watching the show. Dean, thank you for getting the interview so much. And
thank you.
Shout out to our guests. And we'll get with you here soon on another show. Thank you so much.
I'll get more guests for us. I got someone they're working on now.
I love it. We got some that were supposed to be with us, hasn't made it.
Right.
We'll be getting them too. So
yes.
We ain't forgot about them.
No.
When their situation's better, they'll be on.
Right.
And that's life. Everybody has something that's going on.
Yes.
Take care, everybody. God bless and good night, and find you a good church this week.
That's
to go
right.
to. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, make today the day of salvation.
And pray for this country.
Pray for the country, our men and women uniform and our leadership. Look, you don't have to like who's in whatever position, but we can pray for them
and support the troops.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night.